float on, float on.
All right, so it looks like it is going to happen. So, quick recap. Basically, Politicon, during the liberal debate, I forgot precisely what it was about. I think it was like, where do liberals go from here? And basically it was for the Democratic Party and sort of where they go. Do you go towards sort of the Hillary, side, or do you go towards the Bernie side, et cetera, et cetera? And so they were talking about how to move forward as the left and how to oppose Trump and things like that. And basically, a former Jesse Lee Peterson show producer, who's also kind of a troll, he was sort of being a troll there too, but basically he asks Kyle Kulinski a question, and what he asks is basically, Ann Coulter backed out of a debate with you, and essentially you're lambasting that, as I do, but as a former producer of Jesse Lee Peterson's show, I attempted to contact you multiple times to appear on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and you did not respond, so aren't you doing the same thing? And then Kyle's clapback was, I floated a debate with Jesse Lee Peterson at Politicon, and so that was sort of the clapback at him, because you thought you had a gotcha on me, but really, I floated the debate idea. I proposed a debate with Jesse Lee Peterson. Now, Jesse Lee Peterson saw this video, he responded, he issued a response video. He claimed that Kyle was a liar, but he also provided the sort of nuanced possibility that Kyle was indeed telling the truth, but there was just some sort of a mishap, some sort of a disconnect through the routing that was supposed to happen for the Politicon proposal, for the Politicon idea. So what happened is Kyle decided to address this, and you guys are going to be seeing this clip here. Check it out.
Amazing.
Oh, Jesse. Now let's get to the substance of what he's saying. Now, to be fair to Jesse, he did say there, well, I can't totally call him a liar. Maybe he floated it to Politicon. But as you could tell, he's skeptical. By the way, when I went to the comment section here, everybody in the comment section, unanimous, was like, oh, he's a liar, 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 he's a liar. Of course he's a liar. He's on the left. Fucking children of the lie, or whatever goofy shit his audience calls people on the left. So everybody's mind is made up. Jesse, to his credit, is a little bit like, well, maybe he's not a liar. Maybe he did float it. Now, I have to say, I don't want to do what I'm about to do. I don't like showing private correspondence because it's private, and it's something that, I wouldn't do under almost any other circumstance, but I'm basically being smeared here and slandered, and they're floating the idea that potentially I'm a liar. Hey, listen, I don't give a shit who you are. If you've watched this show more than 3 times, there's one thing you're going to walk away from this show knowing. That dude doesn't lie. That dude is honest. Agree or disagree with me, you watch this show and you go, oh, he's telling me exactly how he sees it. There's not an inkling of falsehood in what he's saying. There's not an ounce of being disingenuous. Everything comes from the heart. Everything is exactly what he believes, even if I disagree with him. So, and by the way, Jesse Lee, he was like, I don't know who this guy is. Damn, Jesse, I gave you more credit than that. Because honestly, of all the people I floated to debate at Politicon, I thought, well, I mean, Jesse Lee, he has his ear to the internet. He has his ear to the streets. He knows, who's big in the political sphere online. Apparently, I gave Jesse too much credit because he swears he doesn't know who I am, and I believe him. So that just means he's not as in tune with what's happening in the political world and online as I thought he was. So anyway, without further ado, I will now prove my case. He's not sure I floated a debate with him. Well, take a look at these text messages. This is with the high-level figure at Politicon. Again, I don't like showing this, but I have to show this because it's very important. Take note of the date, Monday, October 8th. So this was when we were trying to iron out all the details in terms of after Ann Coulter backed out. Oh my God, who are we going to debate? We got to figure it out. Take a look at that. Here's the list I floated. Ideas. Adam Carolla, Tommy Lauren, Jesse Lee Peterson, Michael Steele, Bill Kristol, Ben Shapiro, David Frum, Chris Christie, Scotty Nell Hughes. Any of them on any issues? Then I hear back, okay, I think we're good. Waiting on confirmation back from a debate partner. Michael Steele, David Frum, and Jesse Lee in that order. I'm going to send you a proposed schedule in the meantime with a placeholder for the debate. Cool? I say, sounds good. The more issues, the better for the debate. I can, and then whatever the fuck else I said there. I think I said something like I can debate any of the issues with any of them. Then I hear back, they all passed. The list I sent you had like 6 people, I said. All of them won't do it? The response was, let me ask Scotty. That's the only one I forgot. I said, I'm going to list them again, and you can tell me if literally all of these people passed. And then here was the response. Ideas, Adam Carolla, only doing one thing Sunday afternoon. Tommy Lauren, pass. Jesse Lee Peterson, pass. Michael Steele, pass. Bill Kristol, pass. Ben Shapiro, no debate this year. David Frum, passed. Chris Christie, Saturday only and no debates. Scotty Nell Hughes, comma, and then I said Bill Kristol, ask him, and then I didn't realize that, Bill Kristol passed as well. And then it was soon after that that I heard that Scotty Nell Hughes agreed and approved. Again, thank you, Scotty, for stepping in and being the only person on the right that had the balls to debate me at Politicon. So, Jesse, this is the reality. You can clearly see I floated you, and you can clearly see that they said you passed. Now, the final point and the most important point here. Let me state this. I believe Jesse. I do. I'm not just saying that. I don't think Jesse is like lying about this now. I think Jesse would have said yes, and I don't think my floating of him got through to him. I don't. Now, I don't know whether it stalled at Politicon and they didn't ask him, or another possibility is whoever handles this on Jesse's end heard that it was me and said, no, I'm going to axe Kyle without even asking Jesse if Jesse wants to debate Kyle. But here's what's for damn sure. I floated your name and I was told that you passed. Hence, exactly what I said at Politicon on that panel is exactly correct. Now, again, I want to be clear. I believe you, Jesse. I believe you. I don't think you heard me floating it. But now you know that on my end, I did float it, and I was told that you passed. Now, in terms of them reaching out to me, I also believe them on that front. I think that they probably reached out to me. But here's the reality. I never saw it. And I never saw it because, and you could ask anybody about this, I'm hard to get a hold of. Why? Because most of the time I'm busy and I'm working and I'm tied up on 1,000 different things. And I literally can't even if I wanted to, and even if I put forth a colossal effort, there's no way I could, get all of the messages that come to me. Are you kidding me? Between the Facebook page, Twitter, email, all the outlets of people reaching out to me and people, trying to get on the show or trying to have me on their show. And another thing about me that, again, if you follow the show for a long time, you know this, I'm a little bit like, I'm not sure the medium in which they reached out to me, but I guarantee you I never saw a single message from Jesse Lee Peterson and his people. I didn't see a single one from them. But again, I believe them that they reached out. So what I will do here, and perhaps I shouldn't do this, perhaps it's a waste of time, perhaps many of you will say, why would you even bother? But what I will do here, to make up for the fact that I said Jesse passed in the debate, and he did not pass in the debate. I believe him when he says he did not. I just don't think it got to him. But to make up for that, Jesse, what I will do is I will offer to come on your show. And you can interview me however you'd like to interview me. If you want to end up debating, we'll end up debating. You bring up the topic and we'll go off. Okay, so I will reach out to come on your show. Now, by the way, let me also add, this is not something I normally do. You want me to come on your show, you want to do an interview, you want to end up framing some questions in a preposterous way where you want me to respond and play along with your goofy game, by all means, Jesse, I'll do that. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I actually do feel bad that I said that you passed, because I have to admit, even though I was told you passed, and that's what I believed at the time, you never struck me as a dude that would pass on a situation like that. So of all the names that I floated, I was actually most surprised that I heard you passed, because I didn't think you would. And now I know you probably didn't. So That's where we are now. When this segment drops, I'll follow Jesse Lee Peterson on Twitter. I'll send him a little DM, and we'll take it from there.
All right, so this is super interesting, this situation, because there's so many sort of different nuances and different scenarios that could have happened. But as you guys saw there, Kyle Kulinski, he essentially he showed these texts that he had with the person that he was in talks with for Politicon. My understanding of it is that person, I guess, is the sort of representative that was managing the relationship for Kyle and Politicon, and so that was sort of the communication facet. And what he showed is basically proof that he did indeed float the idea of Jesse Lee Peterson, but the response was that they did not, that he declined. Now, the thing in this situation is basically both of them are offering the nuance that there is indeed the possibility that it just got lost in the grapevine and it never ended up reaching either of them, or Kyle's didn't reach Jesse Lee Peterson's. Now, Kyle also addressed the email, offers that he got to go on Jesse Lee Peterson's show. Now, the thing is, no one is in any way burdened to go on someone else's show. In this scenario, specifically speaking. Now, if there's something with history, you may be able to make that argument, but in this case, there is no history. There's no history between Jesse Lee Peterson and Kyle Kulinski, so it doesn't make sense. So the idea of a false equivalency by that troll guy of, Ann Coulter accepting and backing out of a debate, and Kyle Kulinski never even acknowledging the invite to the show of a lunatic, a known lunatic, is obviously not the same. It's a false equivalency beyond belief, and so I want to make that clear. Now, but what he's saying is Kyle is saying that he never saw the emails. He never got those emails to go on his show. That never came up for him. Now, as you guys recall, Jesse Lee Peterson said, he said something verbatim to like, I'd love to debate this little beta male or something like that, in the classic Jesse Lee Peterson accent. And by the way, there were a lot of memes that came out of that clip. I uploaded a bunch of little tiny clips of memes. Fucking hilarious. Oh my God, it was hilarious. One of them, like, he has like one of the best, like, that's amazing. Like, super genuine, like really good on that. And he starts like singing randomly for no reason. But anyways, basically what Kyle's response was he also, sort of like Jesse Lee Peterson said, where he believes, Jesse Lee Peterson sort of, he did say that there may be a chance that Kyle did float it and that there was just some sort of a disconnect. Kyle is actually saying that he believes Jesse Lee Peterson in that he never received the invite and passed on it. And it makes sense why Kyle would believe that, because the reasoning for Jesse Lee Peterson to decline a debate like that makes no sense, because as I explained yesterday, Jesse Lee Peterson is in a situation right now where nobody takes him seriously. So you can't, when you're in that position, you can't lose, because you're in a position of no one cares. Like, no one cares about you to take you seriously. So that's sort of the position that he's in. So I don't think he would be afraid to debate anybody, because there's no debate ever that will, be like, that will make him lose credibility, because nobody takes him seriously. And the stuff he says is so dumb already that if you're a fan of his right now, you're probably the dumbest person on planet Earth amongst the rest of them. But Kyle says he believes that he didn't pass on it. He just flat out says he believes it, that he didn't get it, that he never got the proposal. Whereas Jesse Lee Peterson sort of cast a small shadow of a doubt. Kyle just outright was like, no, like, I believe 100%. So that's a little bit different, but sort of similar. So, what was Kyle's response to the invites that Jesse Lee Peterson got? He has now offered to go on his show. The memes. Oh my God, the memes that are going to come out of this. I'm really glad that this is going to happen. Now, I saw some people commenting on the video on Kyle's channel saying like, oh, it's not worth your time. Like, dude, this is not a serious debate. This is not Noam Chomsky and Alan Dershowitz on Israel-Palestine, where they're busting out all those maps and trying to point out, oh, these contiguous, lines. Like, no, that's not what this is, dude. This is pure comedy. That's what this is. This is comedy. And just as we saw with David Pakman and Jesse Lee Peterson, this is going to be massively, massively hilarious. And I cannot wait for this to happen. I am overly glad that this is going to happen because, I mean, it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining. I mean, Jesse Lee Peterson is he's a Dave Chappelle who's not trying to be a Dave Chappelle. Obviously, he's not as funny as Dave Chappelle, but he's funny as fuck, guys. Come on, let's keep it real. All the memes that come out of Jesse Lee Peterson, how could you not say that? Amazing. Children of the Lie. Great White Hope. I mean, the dude's singing for no apparent reason. Beta male, like the beta male meme. I mean, it's insane, dude. So what I hope that Kyle takes the position of just being a troll, basically. I hope that what he does is not necessarily trolling, because that's not the way that I would go about. What I would go about it is take everything that he says with a grain of salt. Don't take anything Jesse is saying as being serious. Don't treat it as anything serious. Don't treat it as anything real to be taken seriously, to be really rebutted. Just do what David Pakman did and what everybody else on the planet does. That's not just what what David Pakman does. If you go through the list of guests that Jesse Lee Peterson has, they all just troll. Like Ben Dixon has been on there too, and actually I don't know if Ben Dixon's been on there. I think he has. The guy from Advise Show, I think Phil is his name. He was on there. He was just kind of trolling him. Like, that's what you have to do with Jesse Lee Peterson. This guy is not someone serious to debate. You're not about to debate, William F. Buckley if you want to take him seriously. But you're not debating anyone of substance, anyone serious. But the question now is this going to happen? And I want to know what you guys think. But here's what I think. I think it's going to happen because, A, Kyle's down to do it. That was essentially the only barrier. It's sort of like when I say the only barrier to Bernie Sanders winning the election is him running, him actually being a candidate. I think that because Kyle's up for it, Jesse Lee Peterson's 100% up for it. Because, again, he's in a position where he can't lose. It's impossible. But the other side sort of is like that too. But the point here being is that there's no way for you to come out of this debate being like, oh, Jesse Lee Peterson's an imbecile. Like, you already know that, or you're delusional and you're one of his fans. So he can't lose. And this will just be sheer, not only will this be comedy, but I think these kinds of things do benefit political shows and political sides. So, like, I genuinely believe that Kyle Kulinski's channel is going to be, it's going to gain some more traction of some sort. And it'll sort of up the stock, just as sort of any of these appearances do. That's sort of what it does, especially this one. Like, David Pakman's video is like over 200,000 views, I believe, right now. So, I mean, imagine how many Kyle would get and how many new people who don't know who Kyle Kulinski is would see it. Remember, name recognition is a big thing, too. So more people that know Kyle Kulinski, more people that are open to the idea of progressivism, more people that are open to the, ideas of Bernie Sanders. And it helps not only his channel, but it also helps the political sphere of the left. And so for all the people who are saying don't do it, I could not disagree with you more. I couldn't disagree with you more. I mean, these are the same people who say that about, actually, I don't want to straw man them, but I've seen a lot of people on Twitter who are like the Twitter lefties who don't leave Twitter. And so they go, they sort of in their echo chamber on Twitter. And so they go, oh, why are you debating these people at Politicon and trying to make a false equivalency? Like, fuck you, dude. You don't leave Twitter. That's why you get to say that. You should sit in your echo chamber. While people on YouTube actually get, opposition and shit. Anyways, I think this is going to happen. Let me know if you guys think it's going to happen. How's it going to go?